What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog, man. So today, on today's episode, I got a special guest, my main man Ferriz here, Res1 on Instagram. He's teaching me today how to develop 35mm film. Now, you guys know on past videos, I've said that this has been a minute since I shot 35mm since college, and so I'm getting back into it. So I thought this would be a good video to show you guys how to develop your own color film. Now, this is going to be an interesting process. We already got the water heating, this is crazy. I thought we had to do a whole bunch of crazy steps, but yeah, we got that going, got a couple other things going. So I'm going to take you guys through Rez's process on how to develop film, and hopefully you'll be able to develop film at your own home for yourself as well.
It's like the temperature control unit. So we're just kind of going through the instructions because what we have the powder form of the chemicals. So we're going through the mixing process. So it's a little bit different steps for different types of chemicals. So this one, you have to be at 100 degrees in order to kind of mix your part A and part B. So we got a couple things, the chemicals. We have a measuring cup, and then we also have a couple of amber bottles that Michael bought. So we're going to be putting all these into there, and the people that haven't developed 35mm film before, at least color film, these chemicals are reusable. Typically they say 10 times, but you can go probably up to even more than that. So maybe 20, 25 times if you look at the development time. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, liters of water. So
Color developer, okay. So do we take the water from that's heating, or?
Yep. So since we got this going up to temperature, once it hits 100 degrees, we'll know it'd be at that exact temperature. So on this measuring cup, it goes up to 500. So we'll probably, just do 100, pour it into that container, go up to 100. So we'll have 600, and we'll know we have the proper amount, and we'll just mix it all together with, we have a knife. So this knife is a butter knife. I don't know if we're supposed to or not supposed to use metal, but I think I've done it before, but just probably don't use it afterwards.
Okay.
So the chemicals aren't as harmful as they were before, but still at the same time, I wouldn't want to ingest any of this, you know what I mean?
Right,
so,
exactly.
Yeah. Or if you can get it close, yeah, there you go. All right, this is the most scariest part because the water is scalding hot. It's at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Ooh. So, yeah, it's not scalding. All right, now the next part, you're gonna take this knife, you're gonna crack open the developer, that red one right there, and then you are going to start mixing it in there. So. And you can pour it in there fairly slowly and just make sure you get the good mix between all that. So.
Here we are. I hate when the opening part, that's what opens the film, and then it's like dead.
Okay.
So we're mixing in part B first.
Oh, is that part B?
No, it's color one. Oh yeah,
All right.
Part A. Crazy.
All right, and then mix it. Yep, you want to stir and pour at the same time.
Whip it, whip it.
Yeah, and the reason why we're using that container is because we need something big enough to mix the chemicals with a knife. So, I mean, we do have the amber bottles right there, but the amber bottles, you know, we can't fit a knife in there, you know?
True. That is true. I didn't even think about that.
Then, of course, you know, because that's our developer tank anyway, the chemicals are going to be going in there. So we can just do a good rinse and we can use it for our part B, but it's about being efficient with what we have, so.
You do not want to be spending a whole lot of money doing this.
And then I'm going to put a little bit more just so you can get that bit that's in that corner. I don't know if you see it, but.
Yeah,
Oh. There you go. Whoops. All right. And then, all right. So that should be about 1,000 milliliters of it, correct?
Yep.
Okay. And then what we'll do, we'll take that and pour it in the amber bottle.
Ooh.
Yep.
I wonder if I have a funnel in the house.
Oh, dang. That's one thing I meant to mention, a funnel. Or, I mean, another way you can pour it in here and then pour it in there.
True enough.
Yeah.
True. Being efficient. That looks like doo-doo water.
That still may be tough. Do you have a funnel?
Yeah, let me see. So that's filling. Right.
All right, so that's actually not 1,000 milliliters. So what we'll have to do, that looks like it's more, probably about 700. So we'll probably have to put about 300 more milliliters of water in there. So these are 1 liter. So once we fill this up, we can add the water to it afterwards and shake it up a little bit. Give it a shake. Because it had been too concentrated, and it was too concentrated, and that means it would have need a lot lower development times. So, but when we start pouring the chemicals, it all mix up a little bit more. So, yeah.
So while we wait on the water to heat up, I wanted to ask you a couple questions real quick. How important do you think this process is on learning how to develop your own film? Like,
Which part is it?
like just in general, how much time has it saved you learning how to do your whole development process?
So I don't know if a lot of it is like, it takes up a lot of time. So develop your own film does take up a lot of time. But when it comes to the money part that you're saving tons of money, because I think it can cost anywhere from, what is it, like $10 to $20 to develop and get scans? And you can do it at home. I did the math. It's about $2 per roll of film.
Wow.
So, I mean, if you want to be a film photographer with the rising film prices, like developing from home is a way to go. So, yeah. Yep.
Dope. Well, guys, hey, this video is for you. We always want to help other photographers learn different processes. And this for me is just, like I said, I couldn't be bothered with it in college. I was at Cookman, 09, they had a dark room. I felt like Batman. That was the only cool part of the room. But having all those chemicals, I was like, this sounds like I'm making crack. I don't want no parts of it. And it was just too much. It was just too much. I wanted to do digital work. I was thinking about animation at the time. And I wish I had learned, but now we're back. So we're all learning.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we probably should have mixed, because it had been too concentrated, and it was too concentrated, and that means it would have need a lot lower development times. So, but when we start pouring the chemicals, it all mix up a little bit more. So, yeah.
But one thing we forgot was a funnel. Make sure that when you're doing this, you have a funnel on hand. Made a huge mess. Good thing we didn't lose too much Blix combinations, but make sure you have a developer, and make sure you also have a darkroom bag or just a room that doesn't have any light coming into it when you expose the film, because you don't want to.
I'm just sitting around right now, but yeah. So that yeah. If you get to a point where you want to start, like, just building things out, like, Sometimes, like if you develop film and you happen to roll it all the way back in a container, or depending on if you got like a camera like a Contax G1 or a G2, it rewinds it all the way back past it takes the entire film part in. So what you have to do, it's a little tool. You can also use tape with another piece of film. You can stick it in there and pull it out. But this is probably the safest way. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna have this closed. These are real cheap, like 10 bucks. You're gonna push this part in until it gets to this little notch, and do it at the top part, because if you have another strip of film, you'll see that it kind of is a cutout where it dips and goes up. So you're trying to catch it where it goes up. So you're gonna open it up by holding that part in, pulling it out, and you're gonna rotate it until you hear a click. Sometimes it's really faint, and you can feel it sometimes a little more. So I think it clicked, but I'm not sure. So I think it just clicked right there. So what I'm gonna do, it's been a little while since I've done that, I roll it back the other way. And then what I do, I push this part in. Sometimes a little bit tough. And then sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's what you have to do to get the film out of the canister. So rotating it. Okay, I just heard the click there. Roll it back a little bit. Hopefully I didn't just push it back too far. Nope. It's not this is the toughest part in my opinion. So just click, I'm gonna try to close it. And then, there we go. So, you got the leader out. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a pair of scissors. What you're gonna do, you're gonna take this and you're gonna slide it all the way up to where these bearings are. And at that point, this is where you stop. That's when you have to go into the room that's a dark area. So you don't want to have too much film exposed. But what you're gonna do, in the past what I did, I took one roll to get practice on it. But when it's loaded in there, all you're gonna do, I like to keep my thumbs right here and just go back and forth, back and forth. And the reason why I keep my thumbs here is because you can feel if the film is starting to flip or anything else. So right here, you just go back and forth, and then it's gonna load that entire roll of film into there. And then in the dark, once it's pretty much done, you're done doing that, you have to grab a pair of scissors, cut it. And then on top of that, you'll have to do all this in the dark. This goes in here, that goes into there, and then the other one goes on top. And then you'll put the lid on top, which is right here. You put that on top, and then at that point, make sure you click it into place, so it should make a sound like this. So it should sound like that. And then at that point, you can bring it up like this, and no light will expose your film, and you're good to develop.
All right, guys, this is Feature Mike. I just wanted to hop in here real quick. I didn't record an ending to the video that you're watching, so I had to jump in and just say this was just a light overview of how to get started. Each development kit or C41 kit that you buy will come with a set of instructions on how to develop the film. Once you mix the Blix together and the developer in its own two separate bottles, it'll then tell you how you need to get the chemicals heated up in order to then go into developing your film. So those development times will be on the chart on those sheets, and if not, then there are easy charts to look up on your specific chemicals, and that way you can know what those numbers are and what steps you need to take in order to develop the film. So I want to thank you guys again for stopping by. I hope you guys learned something. This was very helpful for me. I've actually gotten really excited and started shooting more film since learning these techniques. I want to give a big shout out to Rez1. Ferriz, great guy, great shooter. Make sure you go check his Instagram down below and check out all his amazing work. Just give him a shout that I sent you over. And like I said, guys, I'll see you on the next one, all right? Peace!